Okay, let's kick this thing off with some good news, shall we? That's right. Welcome to In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Appreciate you hanging out with me. And it is a wonderful Thursday. And we're almost to the end. We're almost to the end. It's been a wild, wild week, and it's been an interesting day for me. So my head is here. I promise. Let's get going. I want to start with something positive. Egg prices are down about 45% right now. I'm sorry, 40% right now. That is hot. That is a good thing. And the reason why, it's not because I do eat a lot of eggs, but it wasn't like a back-breaking expense or something like that, right? I mean, red meat at this point, steak is beef is a lot more expensive than eggs. So I wasn't really tripping on eggs so much, but I was concerned that the knee-jerk reaction by the Department of Agriculture was going to be vaccinate all of the chickens. And from this avian flu, which the vaccine wouldn't even work. It's basically it would be a flu shot for birds is what that would be. It'd be a flu shot for birds. And as we know, and kind of the little best kept secret when it comes to flu shots, are they a 70% rise in elderly getting flu shots, and the flu deaths continue to rise. So that is over the 30 years that they've been doing this. So Rhonda says, stop poisoning our food. 100%. They did not. So this was done without the mass vax program. This was done in spite of the the genocidal program of the Biden administration, where they killed 110 million chickens. I mean, I can't even get my head around it. I can't even get my head around 110 million chickens. So like, why is chicken so expensive? Why are eggs so expensive? Because the Biden administration wiped out all of our egg-laying chickens. Oh, and worked on birds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there was some report which is just a bunch of nonsense. You just can't believe anything you read anymore. That the first case of avian flu transmitting from bird to human has been identified in Texas. Yeah, that story went away quickly because it was nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Listen, we all, even as laymen, we know how viruses work. We have a pretty good grasp on how viruses spread. We have a pretty good grasp on how viruses work. And we're being treated every day as if we don't know, as if none of us took basic biology. Again, this is the beauty of having Gen X in this seat of power. I know Trump is not Gen X, but his cabinet is. Those in charge are Gen X. It's beneficial because we're not easily duped. I can't believe that they were literally going to just keep killing chickens until a new Secretary of Department of Agriculture came in and said, why don't we try something else? Something that isn't super expensive. Yeah. Egg prices have not gone up. Chicken sandwiches stayed the same. That's all. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not all chickens lay eggs. I do understand this. But poultry was up. It was up a bit. It wasn't up as much as drastically as eggs were, and eggs have come down. They have come down in price. And Brendan's got something. That's how I feel about reading instructions on various items that need to be assembled post delivery. Yeah, you can't buy the propaganda. That's true. Yes. Did that and blame Trump. They definitely did. They definitely blame Trump. There's a bunch of setups. I'm actually working on a piece right now that is about Biden's $20 billion EPA. I don't know if you saw the Project Veritas video where the EPA guy was talking about we were literally throwing gold bricks over the Titanic. Like it was going down and we were just throwing money to the different people, and how Citibank helped him move $20 billion for green programs right before he left. Mm-hmm. It has happened. Yes. Anyway, so egg prices are coming down. That's good. No vax is the big part of that. I mean, if egg prices were going to come down with everything else and it was a slower process, I could stomach that. My problem would be if it were due to an over vaccination of animals, right? It's $6.74 for a carton of eggs at Costco, right? But still in Mexico, because apparently the avian flu only hit the United States. Because that's how viruses work, right? Only hit the United States, and I wasn't seeing ducks and geese and everybody else falling from the sky. Just magically hit our chicken population, just magically. Wow, amazing. Again, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. The $6.79 in Mexico, they're $2. They're back. They've never changed. The Canada, same thing, $2. Yep. It was held in by the wall. That's right. It's gonna be a beautiful wall. Holds in viruses. Dems now in the EPA. We should just let them win in New York. I agree with that. We're getting some court cases here in a moment. Mm-hmm. Let's jump all over this. I want to end it with something funny, something kind of from the Wayback Machine that I just found out today, which was pretty damn funny. Let's get to, let's see, where do we go? Where do we go now? Nope. Okay, I'll stop. There's a singing jar. Thing's got like $70 in it. Let's get to the FAA. Remember when FAL the plane started, running into each other, and obviously you haven't heard anything else from that helicopter hitting the plane over the Hudson. Have you heard anything else about that? Again, shadiness is shady gets. It's just as shady as can possibly be. Let's get to the FAA. The FAA was blamed for DEI practices and just hiring on skin color and sexual orientation above talent. And talent is key when you're an air traffic controller. We want the most talented. So there is a test that you have to take just to submit your application. Like, look, if you can't get past this, we don't even want to see your resume. We don't want to see your resume because you have actually shown that you're incompetent when it comes to being an air traffic controller. I don't think about anything else. So there is let me get his title here. His name is Shelton Snow. He's an air traffic control operations supervisor and the FAA, one of their head of their black caucuses, so to speak. A phone call has been recorded and leaked. How about this, dude?
Bourbon associate members, brothers and sisters, listen, it's been a really busy time for me these past 4 days. I know that each of you are eager, very eager, to apply for this job vacancy announcement. And trust, after tonight, you will be able to do so.
Oh, okay.
I am asking that you give me another 15 or 16 hours. Allow me to go to work.
What?
And come home, provide you with an email that will be extremely crucial in the opening stages of this hiring process. There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of, and I'm going to send that to you via email. Trust and believe it will be something that you will appreciate to the utmost. Keep in mind, we are trying to maximize your opportunities.
DEI.
And I'm doing the very best that I can with the time that I'm given.
Okay.
Today when I get off at 11 o'clock,
the
first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out that email.
Okay, great.
I'm going to send it to each of you.
A little too detailed.
And as you progress through the stages, refer to those images so that you will know which icons you should select.
Cheating.
Now, I have a good mind to send it to one of my HR representatives first.
This guy's
and
done.
give them the opportunity to sign off on it before you actually click it. But in the sake of time, I'm going to send it directly to you because I'm about 99.99% sure that it's exactly how you need to answer each question in order to get through the first phase.
Yep.
People have been getting rejection notices.
Yeah, because they failed.
Rejection notices have been coming after about 24 to 36 hours after clicking submit.
Because they failed.
And I want to avoid that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our time and we're going to make sure that everything that we
not only cheating, listen.
And you're going to even have to go back to your resume and make some changes because one of our members and I have caught something. And we want to go back and we want to fine-tune those details. And I guarantee that will give us the very best feeling that we could ever get in applying for this job. VRAs, those that have received tentative.
This guy goes on and on. This is a voice message to all of his people.
To apply for this job anyway.
Every black person in that whatever the group is.
Give the agency an opportunity to say they never gave you one. So apply for it anyway. For everyone else, standby to standby. Later on this evening, when I get home, I'm going to finish those emails, and then I'm going to go back to planning for the Black History Month program, and then I'm going to process all new members' enrollment forms, and then I'm going to send out my emails to the managers of the FAA regional headquarters and thanking them for my visit, and then
I can't even with this guy, seriously. Okay, so yeah, so when we deal with something like, I don't know, airplane safety, we're going to help a group of people cheat their way past the proficiency portion. Just want to know if you're proficient. Want to know if this is something that I can't even right now. I can't even. I just the thought of, and I have seen this in a lot of places. I've seen this, that in some in the military as well, where in the first responders, well, they have to lower the standards because, especially the physical testing, because there's some type of I don't know, something like a what a certain group isn't passing, or a certain size of person isn't passing. Yeah. Give me 1 moment. I'm having a dog issue, so just hang tight.
Your opportunities, and I'm doing the very best that I can with the time that I'm given. Today, when I get off at 11 o'clock, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out that email. I'm going to send it to each of you. And as you progress through the stages, refer to those images so that you will know which icons you should select. Now, I have a good mind to send it to one of my HR representatives first and give them the opportunity to sign off on it before you actually click it. But in the sake of time, I'm going to send it directly to you because I'm about 99.
Had a dog issue. I know. But it is what it is. Because I just looked down at my calendar and realized that this is when all the maintenance is done, and my dog was outside. And I don't know if he's a flight risk yet. So we're just going to go ahead and just leave him in here. So there we go. There was why I had to take off a bit. But I've seen this happen before. This whole, by the way, did you guys know this? Why did I not know this? That song's about ugly women in the club. I had no idea. It was a very Disney song. It was a very like Goofy and his son theme song for a hot minute. Yeah. I did not know that was about, I mean, you go through the lyrics of the song, it's about somebody letting ugly women into the club. I had no idea. Who let the dogs out? Who. So, but anyway, that guy is going to lose his job with a quickness. And everybody that has this information is going to be on hold for a hiring until they change the test to get through the thing. What an absolute loser! Take off, hoser. That's right. So anyway, that's was some of the fun things about the social media and our digital world is that you can't hide really. Like it's a type of social Darwinism or digital Darwinism, where each of these people do this. Like, you are going to send out a long-winded voicemail about how you're going to help an entire group of people cheat. That is absolutely not even using code for anything. Just, I'm going to help you cheat. Oh, yes. Yeah, you see the song in a whole new light. Yeah, okay, so you were with me on that, Rhonda. I did not know that it was about letting you. Yeah. You're down with the quickness, not down with the sickness. Let's keep on keeping on here. Let's remove that, and let's talk a little bit about my Maha movement. You know I'm all about that, guys. You know I'm all about 100% about the Maha movement, and let's jump in on this here. Let's start with this
list of ingredients from foods: carrageenan, riboflavin, monosodium glutamate.
What the hell?
And 20 others that I can't pronounce.
It doesn't sound good. Polysorbate 80, that stuff's really bad. Sodium cereal.
Sodium steroid lactylate. I think you're getting the picture that you
And she's the education secretary.
can't pronounce this stuff.
Sodium gilionate.
Titanium dioxide,
close.
polysorbate 80, BHT,
Oh, yeah, the easy one.
TBHQ.
Yeah,
the Make America Healthy Again movement is
Amen,
the
sister.
strongest movement in America because it contains moms.
And the most exciting thing
I ain't messing with
today
moms.
is dozens of MAHA moms
Yeah.
that have made their way to Washington, D.C. to continue the righteous work to ensure that we have the best, the safest, and the most transparent food supply.
We do
in
have
American
transparent food
history,
supply.
as
We just don't know what those
work as a
names are.
MAHA mom myself to ensure that all of our kids going forward can live a healthy, incredible life that we can provide in this country.
If you are an American company poisoning us with ingredients you don't use in other countries, we're coming for you.
Yeah, that's right. So straight out to White House, White Hizzy. Now, so then there was this gem yesterday.
I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I'm the Secretary of HHS. We had a meeting today with the largest food producers in America, and it was, I would have to say, a very encouraging meeting. They talked about a partnership. They talked about collaboration. They understand that we are in a crisis now, that Americans are tired of being the sickest people in the world, and that consumer choices are now changing. The consumers, the Americans, largely because of the MAHA movement, are demanding that we have a change. Thank you all very much for coming. The brands are listening to them. They understand that they have a new sheriff in town here at FDA, at HHS, and in the White House, and that President Trump wants something that is going to happen not in 10 years, not in 4 years, not even in 3 years, but he wants it to happen right now. We made it clear that we want to work with them, and we would prefer a relationship that is collaborative, cooperative partnership. And they very, very much agreed with that. So I'm very optimistic.
I'm happy you're optimistic. I truly am.
Produced
I think
by
that's
the
great.
US Department of Health.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's encouraged by it. I'm not, but it's a step. You see that those shady bastages in that room that are the heads of the big food. I mean, they're already looking at workarounds. They're already participating in lawfare, but it is a step at least to let them know. I think the most pertinent part of that video was there's a new sheriff in town, and the more that they know that, and the more that they're reminded of that, just the more difficult their lives can be. And I'm okay with that because they've been poisoning us for years and decades in some cases. And I want it to, it's time. It's time for it to be, it's time for a new awakening, but it's a small step. At least it's a small step. Now they can go back and really find out if they can really change things. And it's easy to, I don't care if my Doritos just look like corn chips. I don't care. They don't have to be orange. That's fine with me. As long as they taste like Doritos, I'm good. I am way good. It's something that we need in our society and in our system. This awakening that there's a lot of people against. There's a lot of people against. And if I can find a video, because again, this is just it's kind of the things I do here when we deal with the videos these days. And of course, I'm not going to be able to find it because of my video downloading software. Anyway, there was a woman here in Arizona, and most recently in Texas. I'm not kidding you. Is promoting legislation here in Arizona and in Texas that would eliminate sodas, candy, and a lot of junk food like donuts and whatnot, pastries off of the SNAP program. That and not, you can't get fast food, and you can't buy sodas, and you can't buy just junk, garbage. I mean, it's not all health food and all that. I mean, you get like chips and you get a cookie, and it's not that intrusive. But it's making sure that the SNAP program, supplemental nutrition, the N in SNAP, nutrition, is part of the program. That's the video I have. Trump changed the food stamp rules. No more junk. But that's not Alfred, that still needs to be implemented in the states. There are already 36 lawsuits. Actually, there are 82 lawsuits currently against the Trump administration. 30 of those or 24 of those, I think, are to Elon and his team. And then there's some that are scattered in there, like this whole thing brought to you by the American Heart Association. I hope you don't think I'm kidding. The American Heart Association opposes these legislation. They send a representative to these legislative sessions to oppose the American Heart Association, to oppose eliminating sugary drinks and junk food in SNAP program. They said it'll impact participation. Good. What I don't understand why that's not a good thing. It should impact. If somebody's saying, "Oh, if I can't get my my sodas and my junk food on my SNAP program, I'm not going to participate in it." Fine, cool. But if you are participating in it and just cashing in and just junk food on top of junk food, trust me, the videos are so easy to find. You can go to YouTube and find so many videos of people filming themselves eating garbage that they just got on their SNAP card. Unbelievable. The American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association are all on the take. All of them are on the take. If you look at the top donations from the American Heart Association, it reads like like COVID. It's a bunch of pharmaceutical companies. And hell yeah, American Heart Association is going to go there and make sure that they allow people to have heart disease so they still have a gig. The American Heart Association is as corrupt as hell. I also saw, because I went to their Twitter account, the American Heart Association's Twitter account. Guess what? Their new initiative is called Food is Medicine. Yet, because that's front facing, that's forward facing, right? That's public facing information. Oh, our new hashtag Food is Medicine. That's their big new program. All the while behind the scenes, because no one even cares about state legislative meetings or hearings, they're sending their representatives to make sure that anyone on SNAP program can be fat and happy and unhealthy. And I totally agree with that. The American Diabetes Association, I don't agree. I apologize. I would assume that is the case as well. I think Procter & Gamble gave American Heart Association like their big leg up in like 1920 or something like that, giving them almost $1.7 million, I think it was that I read. That's a whole lot of money back in the day. They made them with this. So Procter & Gamble essentially said, here, you're going to be our front for, this is what you get. You're not supposed to eat eggs. We're going to get rid of tallow and put it with seed oils, vegetable oil, canola, all that stuff, all the Crisco. Procter & Gamble made Crisco. I don't know if they still do, but back in that day they did. And remember, everything was unhealthy for you. And you know that was the expression, heart healthy. A heart healthy America. It's a bunch of BS is what it is. Oh, they're all on the take. I don't know who to trust anymore. Can you trust anyone anymore? I honestly don't know who to trust. Wait a second. In all honesty, I'd rather live more than $20 a week for gas and food. Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Price going on up to the east side. What else you got, Ron? Strong opinion about food stamps and SNAP, having been a single mom for 10 years, being told that I did not qualify for either because I made too much money, just my income, no child support. I'm telling you. That's why I dropped out of college. I dropped out of college because my father reneged on his promise to pay for college for me if I went to California schools. And then he said, you're going to have to get student loans. I'm like, you have to get student loans? I go, I don't call. You say, well, you can go get grants. I'm like, I don't qualify for grants because dad makes too much money. So I know what you're talking about there for sure. Right, acceptable. Fat kids oh yeah. You used to call the fat kids Crisco or double stuffed Oreos. Was what we were going with that one. My welfare programs are a trap. I don't disagree with welfare programs are a trap, but I am decidedly against. I'm decidedly against moving away from welfare programs because I believe that a nation as such as ours, that is as wealthy as ours, can take care of their own in times of need. Welfare programs need to be for times of need, period. trying hard to eliminate. I think you want to say sugar there, buddy, from your diet, but everything just has some sweetener of some sort. Yeah, it's what did I see? Aspartame, putting the dye in diet since 1989. Yeah, aspartame's awful for you. And eliminating sugar, Alfred, is something that is it's challenging to do, but I've done it. And it's been years and years and years since I've had any kind of a sweet. Pro tip for those trying to get rid of sugar, just sniff. Man, as hard as you can. My kids will open up a bag of M&Ms and they'll just hand it to me because they'll know I want to go, whew, yeah, there you go. It's all say your taste buds and all that stuff and your ear, nose, and throat. That's why those doctors are all the same. Is because it's all connected. And you take a good pull of something, you can damn near taste it. It helps out. Steve Nash. Oh, what are we talking about? Steve Nash once mentioned that he thinks quitting sugar lent him to his long career. Okay. Steve Nash had a long career. Yeah. What was old-timey baseball player, Hall of Fame, super, wasn't Lou Gehrig. It was, I forget which one it was, but said if you drink a glass of red wine a night, you'll play for 40 years. I remember they asked some guy on the news, this was so many damn years ago, and it changed my whole life. It did change my life because I don't drink when I eat. And then the thought is like you look at a dog doesn't like eat and then drink and then eat and then drink. Your body's not processing stuff with the acid. The acid gets diluted with liquid, and so it's for better digestion. And it was from a dude that was like turning 105 years old. They said, "What's your secret to life?" He goes, "I don't drink with my meals." And I'm like, I'm gonna look into that. That and that stupid movie about fiber, about the Kellogg family. I forget what the hell it was called, but it had that guy, Anthony Hopkins, in it, and he was the head of Kellogg's, and he was obsessed with fiber. So then I became obsessed with fiber. These are the ABCs of me, guys. This is who I am. Dr. Robid, on sugar addiction. Okay, yeah. And I'll ask Slavo too. Slavo, if you're on here, pop on, buddy. I need your help. There was a book that he was reading that was kind of breaks you of those kinds of hooks. Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's wildly important. So, all right, listen to on sugar addiction. Yeah, that food pyramid was a key. Oh, dear God. Everyone should have known immediately that the food pyramid was a scam because bread was on it. Cereal was a part of it. And you know who brought us the food pyramid is Kellogg's. So that's once the cereal was on it, you saw cereal, you're like, wait a tick. Not even bread. Bread probably shouldn't accuse anybody in because we didn't really know that bread was no bueno back then. But when you see it and you're like, cereal? What the hell is cereal on a food pyramid? Doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. Road to Wellville. Thank you, Grizz. I appreciate that. Yeah. Freaked me out about fiber. Freaked me out. That's why I laughed so hard at the Kevin Nealon. No, it was Phil Hartman. Yeah, it was Phil Hartman on Saturday Night Live when he did the commercial for the cereal called Colon Blow. One bowl of Colon Blow has the fiber of 25 bowls of the leading cereal. Yeah. Colon Blow. That was fantastic. In the Depression era, when you slept for 2 hours, worked for 16 hours, and it worked off, though. You burned off those carbs, baby. Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. I am a big fan of, and he became very, very lefty. I think he was lefty during that time, too. But if you remember Benson, I don't know his first name, for the Arizona Republic, the cartoonist. And during the Ev Meekum days, the very short term of Ev Meekum and into the Rose Mofford days in like here in Arizona, that made me want to get into politics. His cartoons made me want to get into politics. I wanted to comment on politics. So that was shelved for several years, but it was fostered and watered thanks to a Rush Limbaugh episode. But I do like political cartoons. I think they're hilarious. Unless you are in the Trump era. Now I think they're stupid. And not because they're bash on Trump. I bash on Trump. I will bash on Trump. That's no problem. I'll bash on McConnell. I'll bash on all of them. But this guy for the New Yorker. Oh, yes, the New Yorker. Yes. Let's make fun of people. Had this to say. Have research now that the Neanderthals are back in charge. Wow. I mean, that's the same thing they always do, right? They always, we're the knuckle dragging Trumpanzees. And Steve Benson. Okay, Steve Benson, thank you. I think he dabbled into no, that was a different guy. Anyway, but he had a book called Back to the Barbecue, which was all of his Ev Meekum days. I remember when remember Ev Meekum put the security lasers in the governor's office, and then Rose Mofford showed up, and then Benson's next cartoon was her giant beehive with a burning hole in the top of it. Said, we can turn Ev's lasers off now. Yes. 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 Pretty sure your bread and mine are different. Yeah, I would assume so. He's so far left. He is. He won a Pulitzer too. I mean, the guy's untouchable. The guy with a damn. I mean, you don't need a resume. You're like Pulitzer. Yeah, but he's way left. He's definitely an anti-Trumper. Anyway, this nerd for the New Yorker was corrected. This is what I like. I like this kind of stuff. If you can get a little back and forth going, I'm 100% about. Check this out. Said I fixed it. So instead of we'll have to stop research now that the Neanderthals are back in charge, somebody photoshopped this into it. They said they're from the EPA and we can't do any more research until we do a 36-month study on how the sounds of your hammer strikes will affect panging small winged moths. Yes. That's it. I think that's probably as obscure as you could possibly get right there. But yes, he said there, I fixed it to a more realistic way of looking at things. Yes. You always made stuff like muffins, banana bread using any kind of yeast is on my new map. What's your new map? What does that mean? What's a new map? Any kind of yeast, but using any kind of yeast is new on my map. I don't know what that means. I should be able to use a pizza stone set up for my my char-grilled for bread loaves. Oh my gosh. Slavo makes great bread loaves. He does. He makes sourdoughs, big giant loaves, and they're absolutely dense as hell, and they're delicious. But I was told that bread bad by my witch doctor. She said points for carnivore. So points for carnivore get me way excited. Yeah. Yeah, how about the environmental impacts because he's using the stone. Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's just all a scam. I don't know trust anymore. I don't know. Is that a thing? Okay, so let's get to bread then, because you guys are talking about bread. So what is it? Why is it that you can go to Europe and eat all the pizza you want and not gain weight? What is so different? Why are you eating big sandwiches and stuff in Europe and you're not gaining weight? What the hell's going on? What are we putting in our bread that's doing that? Is there an ingredient I can take out and then eat that bread and not gain weight? That's what I want to know. Is it yeast? What is it? Is it a type of yeast? Brennan says he's using the basic one from the grocery store. Thanks, Brennan. Fantastic. Good grief. You guys, I'm telling you. Oh, active or instant is a different thing. Alfred Martinez, why round? It could be. That's right. It could be a square stone. Yeah. Active. Okay. Is that the bad stuff? Make your own bread. But is it better? How is it better? Is what I really want to know. How is making my own bread better? Germany had awesome bakers. I can imagine the bakeries in Germany. Holy hell, I can only imagine. Are you proofing the active yeast? See, you guys are getting detailed here. All right, so just whatever. Send me a note. Tell me what I need to because I'd love to eat bread. I eat breadless sandwiches almost every single day. Today I'm eating steak, so we'll see how we go there. Not yet. I'm still studying up. Okay, cool. I should have Slavo come on and talk about making a bread. Maybe we'll do that on the Go Show. Making his bread for his game meat sandwiches, right? I want to talk about Elon Musk. So a judge has ruled. We now have a activist judges that are stopping to. They know now that they can have a left-wing organization bring a lawsuit against the Trump administration, or in these cases, Elon Musk's organization or his division, and they can say very simply that they don't like something. The judge can put a hold to it, and they have to wait for it to go up to the Supreme Court. That's the way to stop a president's agenda. That's the way to stop the momentum. That's a way to hurt this country. That's a way to circumvent the Democratic portion of our representative republic. And the Democrat portion is we democratically elect a representative, and then it becomes a representative republic. But we elect those democratically, and to usurp that, thank you, is to take anything that this administration does, which we voted for, we the people voted for, and they squash it. That's the way it is. Absolutely absurd. And right now, the Elon Musk organization, which is Doge, needs to submit in 3 weeks all of their intentions on these cuts. Here, according to Business Insider on MSNBC. All right, let's see here. The judge ordered Elon Musk, and this is the judge that we know, by the way. It's one of the anti-Trump judges. A judge ordered Elon Musk and Doge to produce records and answer questions about the group's work. Musk and Doge have been given 3 weeks to comply with the order. Musk's Government Efficiency Commission has been hit with nearly 24 lawsuits. And this is Judge Tanya Chuktan. Remember her? Chuktan? Yeah, whatever. And Chukan Sam. She squashed down the order to shut everything down. She said, no, we can't do that because the states haven't been harmed. So we can't do that. But I can order him to do an exhaustive audit of his own program. Okay. So this is what the bad guys in the lawsuit said. Mr. Musk does not occupy an office of the United States and has not had his nomination for an office confirmed by the Senate. His officer level actions are thus unconstitutional. Let me help you. I'm not a lawyer. I just play one online. So here's the gig. You don't need to have a confirmation from the Senate. I don't know how that even got into Judge Chukchan's courtroom. How can that argument even be a thing? There is not a cabinet position that needs, or a deputy cabinet position that needs Senate confirmation. And this department has been there before. The department was already there. They just renamed it Doge and told Elon to head it up. And it's funny that I hear we have all these cuts and all these firings by an unelected bureaucrat who is going through government line by line to get rid of programs that were spent and financed by us that were approved by unelected bureaucrats. Yes. In this case, I would say it takes one to know one. There's going to be a wave. And understand, we're only 2 months into this, guys. We're not even 2 months into this. We have 4 years of this. I assume that we are going to see a wave of judge recalls. A wave of judge recalls. Because this is absurd to even have this in the courtroom for just the opportunity to take down a Trump program. You welcome into your courtroom our taxpayer dollars, in this case, New York's taxpayer dollars. And the only thing you get out of it is they have to submit to me their plans on what they want to cut in government. Yeah. James already on beer 30, buddy. I'm proud of you on that one. Get after it, kid. Let me know what you're drinking. But yeah, this is the thing. Hey, give money back. Yeah. The thing that hurts this the most, I think the thing that hurts us as we the people the most is maybe that vibe, that feeling that your vote, what we vote for as we the people, it doesn't matter. Because now the opposition party is just loaded up for lawfare and will take every part of the agenda out. Whether that's the Republicans doing it to Joe Biden or Joe Biden or the Democrats doing it to Donald Trump, it's got to go. This whole thought process of doesn't matter who becomes president, we're going to take him out in the courts anyway. All of his actions, we're going to take him out. The only Mexican product I could buy is gold. Are you in Mexico? All right. Yeah, because that and Dos Equis was really all I could buy last time I was down there. I was like, oh, and then they had a brewery right up the road. They had a microbrewery, a new one, which is fantastic. I think it's owned by Roger Klein too. Roger Klein of the Peacemakers. He owns a bar down there, and he, I believe, he might own that brewery as well. It's Big Tuna or something like that. And I went there to get a growler to actually have some good beer. Yeah, no, they were closed because of the presidential election. Like they closed down the entire town. The entire town was closed because of the presidential election. Yes. Fired by an unelected bureaucrat. It's all this is. If you can. Okay, here we go. All right. Because I couldn't read without my glasses on, so there you go. It's your 10. New York. New York. I love it. Nice. Vermont for work. Don't have any Miller Genuine Draft there, James. I'll tell you this. Miller Genuine Draft, I put in my margarita recipe. You guys want it right now? It won the best margarita in Arizona. It was down in Tucson. I gave my buddies a bartender. I gave him the recipe. You guys want it? Okay. It's tequila, limeade, and limeade, not lemonade, limeade. Tequila, limeade, and MGD, Miller Genuine Draft. Not kidding, guys. And ice blend. Pretty easy breezy. Yeah, I do. I went with I think last I want to say 4 ounces. No, 6 ounces, 6 ounces, and 3 ounces of the tequila. But the MGD is in there. Yeah, wish we could get Yingling here. Oh, see, I actually knew how to say that as well. The nation's oldest brewery, right there. And yeah, so Yingling is. Can I say it now? I'm going to say it. Yingling is just. I think Coors tastes better than Yingling. I think you're just getting Yingling because it's the oldest. It's the history behind it, and everybody just loses their mind. It's like old style when you go to Chicago. It's like, It's like Molson Triple X when you go to stuff's like moonshine. Go to Canada. Grew up on that sauce. Okay, grew up on the Yingling, huh? MGD has a real beer taste. I'm not denying that. I do agree with that. I'm not a huge fan, but I do agree with that. You guys know I'm an IPA guy. I'm an IPA guy. Coors has no taste. What are you saying? I'm saying Yingling has no taste. You guys remember Pamela Hughes from KTAR? She brought Yingling back for Rob and I. I thought it was the sweetest thing because it's for she's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And she brought Yingling back for us. I was so excited. I was geeked out of my mind trying. I was like, Do you remember? It's a lot like the I know Molson Triple X, bro. Whew. Didn't know. Wasn't a big beer drinker at the time. First time I went up to Canada, wasn't a big beer drinker at the time. I was like, okay, I'll have some beer with you guys. And we're just pounding those back, and I was toast. Sticks of root beer. There you go. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Oh, see, again, that's Yingling and Pabst Blue Ribbon, same thing to me. They're like, okay, it's okay. It's all right. Nothing big. Yeah, it'll sit you, it'll put you down, James. Let me tell you that. Molson Triple X will knock you on your butt. There was a time I went over to our friend from Chicago sent us a 6-pack, sent my sister and I a 6-pack. And I went over there to catch a Dodger game. And we had 3 each. Okay. And I woke up on my couch at my house, fully clothed. Middle of the night. No idea what the hell happened. I call my sister and I say, can you go in the trash can and see how many, what the alcohol content was? She goes, oh my God. She goes, 12.8. I'm like, and we drank 3 of those? She goes, it looks like it. And I said, well, what was the beer called? I want to look it up for the brewmance. I'm not kidding. She said this. It's called One's Enough. We didn't even look at the name. Like, One's Enough. That's BS. It's a beer. What do you mean One's Enough? Oh, just knocked me to next week. Oh, it was absolutely awful. You're comparing PBR to Yingling? No, okay. So, okay. What? And see, and that's where we get with this kind of stuff. Like, I love that you like it. I think it's fantastic. For me, I'm like, You got to understand, again, I'm a big IPA drinker. So I want to taste a beer and I wanted to split my tongue in half. I wanted to damn near hurt. So when I get a beer that isn't like that one time I helped those guys get their deer down from the hill and they handed me a Michelob Ultra and I had to drink it because it was a thank you. And I was like, I don't get this. I don't understand it. We got some Olympia beer. Oh yeah, Olympia's solid. Yeah. Got a Lone Star and got a Battle of those. Well, that's what's the big oh crikey. What's the big Texas beer that they're just everybody's just Texas, that's what they drink. Dog nabbit. I can't think of it. You guys will get me. I know you will. Olympia's like piss. You guys are hilarious. Good gosh. That's like moose drool. That was called moose drool. I was like, yeah. No, Molson. I called moose piss. Yeah. Shiner. Thank you. Yeah. God, they're Shiner loco over there. Everything's Shiner. Oh God, our parents used to drink the worst stuff. My dad drank Meisterbrau because he did a lot of work in Germany and he thought that was it. It was like, he was like, you're drinking German beer and Meisterbrau, when in Rome. And I'm like, yeah. Billy Beer. That's right, buddy. Jimmy Carter's brother. That's right. Billy Beer. Yep. Let's see here. Asian store on Warner and Dobson has San Miguel. Okay. Yeah. I remember I was at when Red Hook was a tiny little brewery. I don't even know if they make Red Hook anymore. Does anybody see any Red Hook? I haven't seen Red Hook in a minute. Anyway, they had something called double black stouts when Starbucks bought like 14% of the brewery and Budweiser bought another 14% so they could distribute nationwide. And they stopped making double black stout, which was a coffee stout. It was the best beer I thought I ever had. To that minute, that was the best beer I had ever had. That was my favorite beer. And so that and Fat Tire. Those are my favorite two beers. And they stopped making double black stout. And I called the brewery. That's how pissed off I was. I called the brewery. No joke. And I said, you know, you guys stopped making that. And they said, yeah, we stopped making it. There wasn't any demand. And I said, well, I'm calling right now. This is good. I'm demanding it. You know, ha, 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 right? She goes, oh, I get like, 2-3 calls a day about that. Honey, that's called demand. Literally called demand. Good Lord, you guys are going off over here. I love it. Has anyone okay, I'm just going to pull the card out right now. I'm going to pull the card. If we're going to talk beer, I'm going to pull the card out right now. I'm going to pull it out. Pliny. Anyone? Pliny the Elder. Anybody come with me on this one? Brendan knows this. Brendan, you got to know Pliny. Let me put it this way. It's by Russian River Brewing in Central California. Pliny the Younger, when they tap it once a year, there are 2-hour waits down the road to get one beer, limited to one beer. Pliny the Younger is Beer Advocate. I think that's number one. But Pliny the Elder is something that you can get. Anytime you're in California and you have somebody, that brewery makes amazing pizza too. Do they really? I bet they do. If you wanted to get it, Pliny the Elder, that is, and you have friends in California, dude, I think I paid $90 for an entire case that was overnighted to my friend's house. And when I went to California, I just picked it up. I picked up the case at his place. It's the best beer I've ever had. Period. There's nothing that comes close in my mind. Yes. And actually, it's funny you say pizza too, because Pizza Port in Carlsbad was where I first had it. And I had it on tap, and we got a picture of it, and I took a drink of it, and it was like the light comes in, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. It's like a beer fest when they first drink that beer. I want to freeze it into ice blocks and slide on it down the hill. When you go to Wyoming, Jenny Lake Lager. All right, by Snake River. I did go to Snake River. Of course, I didn't have their lager. I was just doing their IPAs. Also love Pizza Port. Yeah. God, we can talk about beer all day, you guys. Which is cool because we now have the show planned for tomorrow because we spent half the show talking about beer and bread. So there's zero wrong with that, you guys. This is what I love. This is how I love to do things. Tomorrow we'll wrap up with probably, speaking of beer, we are going to wrap up with the one of the funniest old beer campaigns that I did not know about that was having me laughing out loud today. And I will share that with you tomorrow. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for playing along. This is In Other News. We'll wrap up the week Friday at noon right here in